Welcome to the Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy. It is rocking here at the Ferrell Center. It is the Big 12 on ESPN. A true old-school rivalry game as Texas has made the drive down to Waco to take on the Bears. It's the Horns and Baylor in a top 20 matchup that not only impacts the tournament resumes for both of these teams, but very much impacts the Big 12 standings. As usual, seems like the Big 12 is chasing Kansas, but there's Baylor. A half game out, lurking in third place, tied with Texas Tech. The Horns, it'll be a good one. Bob Wischusen here with Fran Fraschilla. Chris Budden will join us shortly as well. And Fran, a dichotomy between these two teams. A very old Texas team. Some very young, important players for Baylor that will face that age today.
Exactly. Texas is the third oldest power conference team in the country. Baylor, without their leading scorer, L.J. Cryer, relying on two precocious freshmen, both future NBA players, Jeremy Sohan and Kendall Brown. They are going to have their work cut out for them today because they are going up, Bob, to your point, against men.
The average age of this Texas team, close to 22 years of age. They've brought in some impact transfers that these young guys will face today.
Those two guys do not turn 19 until next May. Put that in perspective.
And Chris Budden, it's interesting how this Texas group has been put together.
Yeah, they have had a lot of success recently. 3 ranked wins over the last 3 weeks. They've done it with physicality and a lot of transfers, 8 of them. I asked Timmy Allen how this group has been able to find identity together. He said the key word, sacrifice. Every one of these guys that transferred was the big man on campus at their own school. In order for them to play together, they had to sacrifice egos. And you've seen that play out over the last 2 weeks.
They get another opportunity against a ranked opponent today. And friend, this is one of those matchups that checks every box.
It does. It's the best conference in the country. 2 teams ranked in the top 20. 2 teams fighting for the top of the league. And oh, by the way, 2 teams who played each other almost 300 times in their histories.
Well, the last time you and I saw Baylor, it was last Saturday in Lawrence. And they're a team that definitely wants to get the bad taste out of their mouth from that blowout. They played Kansas State and won, as you would expect, on Wednesday. But this is a rivalry that has flipped over the years with Scott Drew's arrival in Waco.
Absolutely. It took a long time, as you can tell. And Rick Barnes owned Baylor 24 straight. I'd say Scott Drew's gotten the better of Texas in recent years. And Chris Beard is back on the 40 acres to flip that around a little bit.
And when Chris Beard arrives, scripts flipped. That's just the way it works, right? His entire coaching history is basically taking what is broken and fixing it.
I think so. This team is starting to come into its own.
Just the atmosphere you would expect for Texas Baylor, a top 20 matchup underway.